ECHO is an organization that provides technical support for people all over the world. Probably one of the easiest ways to describe it is we're an extension agent for the world in the area of tropical agriculture and appropriate technologies. We recognize that people all over the world that are working with the poor understand the culture, language, and they're intimately involved with the problems that the community faces. What they don't know is what to do about it. As an organization that provides technical resources to people, one of the best ways we do that is by having courses and training programs here on campus that people can come to. They can be either long-term, like our internship program. We also have the Tropical Agricultural Development course. It's very different to learn from a textbook versus coming in and actually touching the plants and seeing what's going on. And to do that in a tropical setting here in North America is very difficult unless you're in a place like Southwest Florida.
For nearly 30 years, people have been coming to ECHO's base in Florida to learn from the demonstration farm, the global farm that's here, to utilize this extraordinary library that is resident here, and to be trained.
I heard about ECHO about maybe 3-4 years ago, and I was aware that they trained in agricultural development and that they had some kind of a demonstration farm down in Florida. With me working in Africa, working in Kenya, southern Sudan, northern Uganda, it's very tropical. It's a different type of agriculture than we're used to in Canada.
I have been working recently in Chad, before that in Burkina Faso. I am not an agronomist or an agriculturalist, so most of what I know from agriculture in the tropics comes from either experience or technical documentation. What I found with ECHO is that the science is there, but there's nothing mystical about it.
Well, we're in our appropriate technologies area, and the idea is to have a collection of things, of techniques, of technologies, of ideas that can help people that are living in developing countries or in difficult situations. Our overall philosophy is use what you have to make what you need. So this is our water treatment section, or ideas for purifying water, for treating water. Actually, moringa, the tree, you can eat the leaves, very nutritious. Moringa seed grows in a big pod. It's pretty impressive. And one seed can treat 1 liter of water. You take 1 seed per liter, you crush it up into a powder, and then it will bind with the particles and they'll settle out to the bottom. This is actually the same water. Indoor air pollution is a huge problem. They've done studies and found that cooking over an open fire is the equivalent to smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. This is a beautiful stove from Central America. There's a space between where your fire burns and where your pot is located. In this space, you will actually burn any smoke that's produced. So a lot of people are doing work with different mixtures of briquettes. This one is made out of paper bags. This one is made out of junk mail and charcoal. This one is made out of newspaper and wood chips. This one is made out of sawdust and junk mail. You can use your bicycle to ride into town, and then also you can just drive your bicycle up and run a table saw if you'd like. We made this rake with nails and scrap pieces of wood. They would say, you've taught us to use things we spent our entire lives ignoring. And to me, that's what appropriate technology is all about.
Working here in the urban garden has been nice. I do a lot of dumpster diving. Most of the other areas on the farm are more regionally oriented. So you're talking about specific crops that grow in that region, and they have a lot more space to work with, because part of the idea of the urban garden is that you're constrained by space. You'll see lots of unconventional planters, like old tires. Cinder blocks, kiddie pools are really good for making reservoir beds, because you can put some sort of solid material like gravel or even just old seed trays that you would seed up in. Say you live in the city but you only have a tiny little plot of dirt. We're trying to demonstrate like high density plantings there, how you can use a tiny space but still be really productive.
For a long time I was gardening, so I was in horticulture and landscaping. But there came a point where I got a bit frustrated just doing the gardening and not really feeling like I had a great impact. I was just, making gardens look pretty. I was looking for something practical that would teach me some real skills that I could actually kind of go out and use those skills directly wherever I'd go, which is where Echo kind of turned up. I was in Kalimantan, the Indonesian part of Borneo. They're building a village basically for orphans in the middle of the jungle. They're trying to grow their own fruit and vegetables, try and be self-sufficient just for fruit and vegetable production. Most of the crops that I grow here in the monsoon garden are going to be monsoon crops. So as I plant things, I'm learning about each individual crop and what it looks like to grow it. So either there's things that I have actually seen out there and I'm like, oh, now I'm growing it, I can see what that looks like. Or it's things, again, maybe I didn't see out there, and when I'm back there I could say, hey, I grew this really cool thing in my year in Echo and I think we should try it.
I grew up in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, a small village. We were the only Westerners there. The rest of the population were Congolese. People need agriculture to survive, and people need good soil to have good agriculture. We're doing a variety trial to try and find the best pumpkin seeds for tropical areas.
Echo provides resources to people who are working overseas on behalf of small-scale farmers, and one of those resources is seeds. So we're looking for crops that thrive under difficult conditions, but we send out between 4,000 and 5,000 packets a year, and we have network contacts in at least 180 countries.
The reality is that increasingly coming to Florida is neither a practical reality financially or accessible to people because of security concerns.
We've recognized that to make the resources available, we have to get to where the people are. So we started that by opening a resource impact center in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And that's the first one. It opened in January '09. We're in the process of opening an office in East Africa and in West Africa.
Regional impact centers are positioned strategically to enable us to more directly take the information that Echo has developed to those who need it most. And at the same time to gather from practitioners in those regions the information about what really works, so that we in turn can share that information with others who can benefit from it.
Even though there's malnutrition around the world, it's not a hopeless situation. There are ideas, there are seeds, there are techniques and technology that's available here at Echo that can change people's future. And we want to match the passion of Echo to really help the poor help themselves with what passions you have. Is your interest in young people? We have an internship program that you can partner with to help train some of the most incredible young people in the world to be able to take those skills and go over and spend the next 20 years working around the world helping the poor. If you're interested in academics, we have research programs that we're doing. We have technical documents that we're putting out. We have a book that we're producing, all to take the ideas that have been proven to be successful in other parts of the world and get them into a format that makes them available to more people so that they can use that knowledge to change the world. We'd invite you to join with Echo and help make a difference to eliminate extreme poverty.